this video, I'll give you a quick overview of how to expand navigation levels in Zenon. For this example, we'll be using Subnavigation to load our hall screen, which we are using for Hall 1 and Hall 2. Using substitution, I already created the necessary screen switch functions. A hall button on the menu bar will take us to a subnavigation screen with two buttons to load Hall 1 and Hall 2 respectively. Before we can create our subnavigation screen, we need to create a frame as it will determine the size, position and color of the screen. We'll call it Subnavi and also change its color and size. Once the frame is created, we can create our subnavigation screen. Link it to the frame and choose Standard as screen type. Be sure to select the Create and Link variable for Screen Active checkbox. That way, we'll be able to tell by the color of a button which screen is opened in the service engine. To define or change these colors, go to the Variables module in the project tree and select the newly created Screen Active variable in the Detail view. In the Properties, expand the Limit Values Properties group and select Limit Value 1. Be sure this checkbox is selected as well. Here you can change the color. Repeat the same steps for Limit Value 2, but this time choose a different color. Also rename the variable under General Name. To load the screen in the service engine, we need to create a function. In the dialog, select Screen Switch and choose Subnavigation as target screen. Here, click OK. Be sure to rename the function. Next, we need to configure a script where we compile several functions to be executed in a sequence in the service engine, because when we select the Hall button in the menu, we want three things to happen. We want to close the main frame, load the subnavigation screen, and also load Hall 1. To configure the script, go to the Functions node in the project tree, then expand it. From here, select Scripts. Click the New Script button on the far left of the toolbar. After renaming the script, select the Add Functions button on the toolbar. In the dialog, select the three functions to close the main frame, load the subnavigation screen and Hall 1, and add them to the script. To execute the newly created script, we need to create another function. In the dialog, expand the Scripts module and select the Script Execute submodule. In the next dialog, select the script we just created. Be sure to rename the function and link it to the Hall button in the menu. We also need to link the button to the Screen Active variable created for our subnavigation screen. To do so, go to the Properties and select Fill. Under Fill Colors Dynamic, click the three dots and select the variable. The color preview shows you the colors of the button, which will switch from gray to orange when the screen is opened. To load Hall 1 and Hall 2, we need to create two more scripts as well as two more buttons on the subnavigation bar. We'll call the first script Start Hall 1 and add the following functions to it: Frame Close Main and Screen Open Hall 1. Repeat these steps for a second script, but this time we call it Start Hall 2 and add the Frame Close Main and the Screen Open Hall 2 function. To execute the newly created scripts, we need to create two more functions. In the dialog, expand the Scripts module and select the Script Execute submodule. In the next dialog, select the Start Hall 1 script we just created. Be sure to rename the function. Repeat these steps for the Start Hall 2 script, so you end up with a second function, Script Execute Start Hall 2. Next, create a button in the subnavigation screen. In the dialog, link it to the appropriate script. In the Properties window, rename it and under Fill Colors Dynamic, select the Screen Active variable associated with Hall 1. Repeat those steps for the Hall 2 button, making sure you select the correct function and Screen Active variable. All you have to do now is save and compile the project and start the service engine. In the service engine, you can see that we have successfully expanded our navigation levels and that the buttons change color to indicate which screen has been loaded. More information on this topic can be found in the Zenon help under Manual Screens. Thanks for watching.